new comedians in Kelowna. We got some tough competition today. We're gonna be introducing our comedians. First, we got Erin Hazlehurst, improviser. She performs on the local improv teams. We got Stephane Magne, stand-up comedian, local here to Kelowna. We've got improviser Karliana DeWolff. A round of applause for very funny Karliana. We've got Billingsley. She's an improviser here in Kelowna, and she teaches improv here at EMC Studios in Kelowna. We've got Jasmine Towers, the reason we are all here. And Annie Zed. She's an improviser here in Kelowna, and I hear she does a great Hungarian accent as well. We are ready to begin our game, Fact or Fib. Stephane, we will begin with you.
All right, let's see what we got here.
I want to peek.
Very good.
I have several photos published on the National Geographic website.
Ooh, what are the photos?
Well, it's a very good question, and I'm glad you asked, Jasmine. So, as you may know, I'm from Northern Ontario, and I'm actually from an isolated part of Northern Ontario, so there's a lot around there that, you know, not a lot of people get to see. You see lions and zebras and all these National Geographics, but who is photographing the beavers and the squirrels? I am. Yeah, so I actually have 2 photos of a beaver and a family of beavers, and 1 of a squirrel.
What kind of camera did you use?
It's just a simple Canon, like, digital SLR, but like entry level. It was just like, I'm gonna get a camera and practice, and apparently you can get good enough photos for professional publications.
So when was this?
There's probably a good time frame for this. It's probably in the 2000s, 2011. It would have been June 2011.
June.
June 2011, I was back home for 2 months. And I went home, I went out in the wilderness, submersed myself in the water to capture beavers.
What's the submission process for National Geographic?
They have just some editors that you can reach out to, and you just send them photos, and then you hear back usually in about, 4 to 5 months.
If I did hear correctly, if I do recall, you snapped all these National Geographic worthy photos in a 2-month time span when you were back home for a visit.
3 National Geographic worthy photos. Not all of these, 3.
Okay, but they all came from the one...
Yes.
Beginner camera.
Water submersion.
Water.
Yeah.
And the beaver didn't, they were fine. They're like, come on in, the water's fine. Take our photo.
You saw all those animals live in person.
I mean, I don't want to burst anyone's bubble, but if you just wander out into the woods, anywhere in Canada, you are going to see some animals. I did not have to go far, like 3 kilometers out. Yeah.
I imagine you would have to see him in person, too, to be able to take a photo.
Go out there with a laptop. I see them. I'm in the wild. I'm seeing photos.
You don't invite the animals to the shoot.
I guess I just mean you saw a beaver.
Yeah. Yup. Yes, I did.
Building a dam, scurrying around.
They were transporting to and from a pre-built dam, but I didn't see them build it.
So they were
Wrong time of year.
downsizing?
Yeah.
Going from one dam to another?
I don't know about that. They weren't interloping beavers.
So what did that consist of?
Sorry, can you ask the question?
You said there was a family of beavers?
Yes.
What would that consist of?
Oh, you've got your mother, father beaver, the aunt and uncle, I presume. Probably some cousins and nephews in there.
And what position in the photo?
Oh, I mean, there was the whole literal cacophony of beavers.
Did they have a nice house with a sign that said live, laugh, chew wood?
I didn't get inside the dam.
You had the camera, you had your shot.
Yeah.
I don't know how everyone else is feeling, but I'm feeling a certain amount of willingness to take a leap and do my vote.
All right, blue team, what are we thinking?
I'm
Did
ready to vote.
Stephane successfully
Okay.
submit photos to
I'm
National Geographic?
feeling like the window of opportunity, yeah.
They think you're not talented enough to get into National Geographic?
No, I feel like this is a judgment of character here. Won't your faces be red when you find out it is in fact a fib?
star to the blue team. That's our point system on the show. It's just I say you get a gold star.
Awesome.
And then they do. Erin, we'll go to you next.
Okie dokie. I once took revenge on incoming tenants I didn't like.
Ooh. What was the act of revenge?
Well, there was electric baseboard heats in this house. And fun fact, and I know this because I have children, when you lay crayons on electric baseboard heaters and then you turn the heat on, magic happens. And they melt and create a glorious, colorful mess. And I did that. Allegedly.
So you,
No, I did that.
you ruined your own property, in other words.
No, I was moving out. I had sold the house. We had sold the house. And tenants is probably not the correct term, but the new buyers that were moving in were really awful people and made our lives hell. For several months, we had this real estate deal going through, and it was really, really sticky from where I was sitting. And I thought, gosh, you know, when life gives you lemons, melt crayons. I actually, you know, I consulted a lot of friends about this, and I'm like, oh, what should I do? Drink heavily, go to counseling. Some people suggested putting a potato in like a duct because then it's a slow burn and it smells later on. But I thought, nay, not this kid, because that can be traced back to me. What can't be? An accidental crayon or four that you accidentally leave in a baseboard heater, right? Because that could be like accidental. A potato, that's deliberate.
That's an on-purpose potato.
That's deliberate.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's a good point. What colors?
Excellent question. I went with very bright pinks and reds.
Oh.
So that they would see it.
And also I thought, and we'll find out maybe, when it hit the ground, I thought red and pinks would stain the laminate. Was my theory. I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
Did you hear any response? Was there ever any response?
This just happened.
So we'll stay
you were
tuned then,
this
I guess.
age.
So I was this age.
And what was the address of the house that you ruined?
Bleep, 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 bleep. Yeah.
Wow, so this is quite a risk. Confessing this.
You told me this is going to air in about a year.
That's true. But it
And
would be in fall time, just when they'd be turning the heaters on.
Yeah,
Oh, dear.
yeah. Again, it could be an accident. It could be a lie.
I think the only way to make sure Erin's safe is to, as many as possible, melt crayons on heaters. So
Yeah,
that
okay.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
a
yeah,
multiple
That's
home occurrence.
Good,
You can't.
good. Yeah.
Crayon bandits.
Remember
Crayon
that.
bandits.
Everyone
Heaters.
watching, load up your radiators.
With
Pink and
crayons.
crayons.
Pink, red, please.
Unless it's false, and I don't know.
Well, I don't know if you have more questions.
I'm gonna say fact.
Yep.
Ooh, a flip at the last minute.
Okay.
So distrusting, eh? So distrusting.
I am so happy.
I didn't say I was
But that was
proud of
true.
it,
Yeah.
but I am.
I promise never to cross you.
Oh, yeah, no, don't do that. We're on the same team, though.
We're
They're-
friends. Oh, yeah.
Let's go to Anne.
Sure. Here we go. It wasn't an allergy. Nevertheless, a peanut once put me in hospital.
How?
I was a kid, and there was like this, I don't even remember what it was like. It was like a little plastic peanut game, and I took one of the peanuts and put it in my nose. I was like 5 or 6 maybe.
Okay, and so I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say it was lodged up there.
Yes. It was stuck in my nose, yeah.
So what was the removal process like?
So my brother suggested that my parents put pepper on my nose to make me sneeze. It did not work.
This
So
was pre-hospital, I assume.
Pre-hospital, that
are the
was
home
plan
remedies.
A. Plan B was the hospital.
So you just tried to sneeze it out like a Wile E. Coyote cartoon.
Like in the cartoons, yeah.
Right. Did you try lighting a stick of dynamite maybe and blowing it out?
Yes, yeah.
Actually, I like that. I wanted that to work. That would have been cool. How long did it take to remove it?
It didn't take long. It was, no. I mean, like the waiting room wasn't fast, but.
No, but I guess I'm like, how did they? Like,
with like a tube. They put a tube up my nose and suction.
They just sucked the peanut right out of there.
Yep.
Okay. So describe to us the intricacies of the plastic peanut game.
From what I remember, it was like a little red barrel that could like rock back and forth, and then part of the game was like, I don't know, tipping it over and all the plastic peanuts came out or something. That's from the fogginess of my memory.
no, that was a popular game, Barrel of Peanuts.
And you just spilled them everywhere and won every time. Yeah.
Exactly. No, it was a popular.
Wonderful.
I had it. I'm lying. I didn't have it.
Is it a fact or fib? Was Anne once sent to the hospital because of a plastic peanut?
Nope.
I too think this is not true.
Ooh.
It was true. There
Very-
was.
So many gold stars.
I'm serious. There was a little bucket of peanuts. I don't know what the object of the game was,
And
but
this wasn't just an actual bucket of peanuts.
it was
that
like
you
a
were
little
playing
bear.
with.
I don't remember.
I have the game, I know. I can vouch for it.
Do you actually remember
You had
that?
barrel of peanuts?
Barrel of
Peanuts. I think it was Don't Spill the Beans or something like that.
Oh, maybe it was a bean.
Well, this changes everything.
That's not fair. I want to recount on the gold stars.
I call that a fib.
My kids had normal games like, Battleship or Barrel of Monkeys. But anyway,
Barrels of normal things.
exactly.
Karliana, let's go to you next.
Okay. Oh, what a nice little seal.
I know, right? So fancy.
I once threw a Slurpee through the open window of a bad driver.
Tell us the story. What happened?
What happened here? I was in high school, and I was really, really mad because I had just gotten my license. There was, my window was open, and the person beside, or in front of me rather, I guess at that point, had just cut me off. So I tried to throw it forward at the car, if that makes sense.
From
No,
the
I'm
driver's
following.
side window?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I had the Slurpee and I just threw it ahead, and I had a lot of faith in my left arm for some reason. So yeah, I thought I could just ruin their day a little bit because they cut me off, and I was a newer driver, so.
So your first instinct, that's the first thing you did was throw.
Yep. I didn't even think. I just did it. It was pure rage. I hulked out.
So it was at them. It didn't actually go in the window. It was just at their direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was their response?
Yeah.
Well, they kind of swerved a little bit, and then they were like, they flipped me an unpleasant signal with their hand, and we're like, "Arr." I heard a little rabble, out that window, and I was just like, "Arr." And then they kind of turned away.
Can you tell us what you were like again? It was because I get that feeling. I do.
Yeah. That's my Muppet description of anger right there.
How did you feel after you did it?
You know, I felt sad because I had just lost my Slurpee. And I spent a lot of time making that Slurpee. You know, when you just get the perfect, like, measurements of the different
It was
flavors.
a homemade Slurpee.
No, like, when you're at the place and you get, like, all the layers, and it looks really pretty, and then I didn't get to look at it or eat it anymore. Yeah, when I'm not fed, I go full gremlin.
Full gremlin.
Yeah.
This, I am learning a lot. All right. There are cookies about, should anything go awry. Did you replace the Slurpee then? Like, you must have still been hungry.
I didn't want to be late for school, so I just had to deal with it and be kind of hungry. Probably wasn't very pleasant that day when I got to class, to be honest.
All right. I'm
What's it gonna be?
I'm
Oh, Annie's the holdout, but blue team does say fact.
Bam! Got him.
Nobody's going to throw away a perfectly good Slurpee,
No,
guys.
that would be that is.
This doesn't add up.
crazy.
I would not do that to myself.
Annie, let's go to you.
Okay, bear with me. I once cut myself so badly on the stiff plastic of package that I had to get stitches.
What was the package for? What was the packaging? What was inside the package?
You know those little pepperoni sausages, like pepperoni sticks, but they're really small?
Yeah.
And it was quite a large package.
Food packaging.
Meat food packaging.
They possibly, I understand some of those packages are that stiff, hard industrial plastic, but would they put that on food?
I don't know. No, I'm now worried about the meat juices in your wound. Did you like need tetanus shot?
It's the dried pepperoni, so it didn't have juices.
I'm familiar with my cured meats, ma'am. I'm just saying. I'm concerned for. Did you lose an appendage?
No. It was just on the finger, you know, like when you. They can be pretty darn sharp, eh? Like I don't know if you've ever seen the ones. They're sort of flat at the top, and then they sort of have softer edge, or softer plastic on the bottom, and then the top edge is really sharp. You gotta be careful.
Annie's from Hungary, you know, I suspect back there, if you cut yourself, your mom just sticks your hand in pepperoni juice to sanitize the wound.
That's right.
You know it, yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking. You're right.
So did you still eat the pepperoni even if it got blood on it?
No, I was pretty concerned, and so I called a cab and I went to the emergency.
How many stitches did it take?
It's like 3. It wasn't too bad, but still enough to, like, they needed to close it up. This is quite deep.
Pepperoni, wounding by pepperoni.
Pepperoni has probably taken out a lot more than just Annie. There's definitely pepperoni casualties out there.
A lot of victims.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
I remember the great
different
pepperoni
ways,
wars of 1877. Oh yeah.
Couldn't get a stick anywhere. It got nasty.
It was a salty war.
It's true.
All right, green team, what are we thinking?
I don't know. I kind of
I have thoughts.
believe her and her mates.
Feels plausible, but I'm just hung up on the stiffness of pepperoni packaging. I feel like everything holds up except for that, so I'm gonna say a fib.
I think it's fact because I think Annie's serious about this. I think she really is serious about her pepperoni.
I'm serious about pepperoni too.
Sorry, guys.
No gold stars for the green team. By the way, Meat Juice Wound is the name of my new punk band. Erin, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
We play only after 2 a.m.
That's good.
Jasmine,
Oh,
it goes to
all
you.
right, all right. I got pulled over by the police after I'd done something to avoid suspicion. That's all you're getting from me.
What did you do?
I know, right? Like, why pick on me? I drove, but not on the road.
You thought driving off-road would avoid suspicion.
Yeah, looking back on it now, I see where they were coming from, but at the time it seemed like that was the best thing to do, be all like stealthy about it.
So was this on the sidewalk or like through the woods or?
No, it was on old railroad tracks. So in Merritt, back in the day, they had a railroad line, and then they removed the tracks, and they just made it like a walking path but is still all like gravelly, big area. And I was learning how to drive a friend's truck who borrowed it from his mother. And I didn't technically have my license or my learners, or I was still 13. So I was still trying to blend because I didn't want to like break any laws and get pulled over. So I thought, let's give this baby a try in a nice, safe, I'm not gonna bug anyone, nothing to see here, folks. I didn't think about, I didn't think that I thought they'd be happy that I was doing it there, if anything.
No one will notice a truck on the walking path. I mean,
On the railroad track.
Yes.
that's right.
And fair enough, this is why they don't let 13-year-olds have learner's license, because they need just a couple more years to make that connection.
So you're saying that because you thought nobody could see you, that you weren't breaking the law? Was that?
No, I was a little bit older than that stage of thought.
Oh.
I just didn't want to hurt anyone. I didn't want to try to learn. That's not wrong, right? To care about public safety. I'm breaking the law, but I'm not like mean about it,
By driving on the walking path?
Well, it's at night. You can see someone's either there or they're not there.
True.
Like, it wasn't like a trail into the woods. It was like from this parking lot-ish place to like past. If you were from Merritt, you'd be on my side. You know that's a legit thing. Yeah.
Karliana looks most confused.
I'm just trying to imagine the scenario in my
Just
brain.
putting all the pieces together.
Yeah. So, what did the police say?
The police, yes. They tapped on the window, tap, tap, tap. And then they asked for my license, and I said, oh, I don't have it, and kind of hoped they'd leave it at that. And then after some further questioning, whose truck is this? Oh, it's that guy's mother. Then it sort of came out that I didn't have my license, and I wasn't likely to get it anytime immediately. And so they gave me a ticket, and I paid it, driving without a license.
All right, green team.
How much was the ticket?
$100
That's
or 110 or
Exactly.
120. It was all of the money that I had saved for Christmas presents. And I remember thinking, that's okay, I didn't want Christmas anyways. That's fine, cool. Let's just pay this thing off. And then they called to see if I'd told my parents yet. Because I said, I will take care of this and tell my parents. And I didn't tell them because I was waiting until after I paid the ticket. Because, I like to give problems solved. Not here's a problem solved. I'm done talking.
Fact or fib?
I don't know. She's just so lovely. I just don't see her breaking any kind of laws.
I don't know. I've heard Jasmine tell us there's just too many different things happening in Merritt. They all seem to happen. I'm going to say fact.
Right.
All
Well,
right.
you are outvoted by your team.
I'm willing
Two
to take.
fibs, a team
I'm willing
green.
to take a stand for what I believe is
It
true.
is a fact. You can do so much in merit back in the day.
I think it's my turn.
Woo-hoo.
Oh, you have to listen to me now. I once won $5,000 on a scratch and win ticket.
Name the ticket.
Jeffrey? Well, what do you mean name the ticket?
The maker, the type of scratch and win, the type of what?
Oh, this was in the Colorado lottery. This was when I was growing up.
Okay, Colorado lottery versus
Colorado
a scratch
State
and win.
lottery versus I scratched it and I won.
I'm seeing a hesitation here, as scratch and win and lotteries are different things.
Not in Colorado.
2 questions in, your story has completely fallen apart.
How old were you?
Ooh, good question.
At least 18, because that's the law, Erin.
In Colorado, isn't it like 21, Jordan?
Look, I'm doing really good right now.
Name the store that you bought the ticket at.
Target.
Target? Oh.
I believe him.
Yeah, because you don't have that here, so you don't know.
Really true.
You don't know that they don't sell scratch and win.
Well, no, we did have Targets though. We
Right.
had Targets.
The scratch and win didn't make it here.
Right, right. This
Targets,
is
but not the scratch
special.
and
We
win.
had Targets for like a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not enough time for Jordan to have bought a ticket.
Nope.
What did you do with the money?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
I kept it for a while. I was like, oh, I have something really good to buy with it. So I kept it about 2 years, and then I spent about half of it on a popcorn machine.
A $2,500 popcorn machine.
This dude loves popcorn.
Wow.
I was on Facebook Marketplace, and the movie theater was selling off their old like commercial popcorn machine.
Business venture. You were going to go into
And
the
I was like, you know who has $5,000 that I haven't spent? Me, this guy. Wouldn't it be cool to have a really expensive popcorn machine?
What was your reaction when you saw that you won?
When I saw that I won, I didn't believe it at first. I just like threw it. I was like, I don't know. That could be. I showed it to like 9 or 10 different friends. I was like, hey, this scratch ticket, I named it Jeffrey. It says I won. That can't be right. And so I called in and I did win.
You're thinking I could buy at least 2 popcorn machines with this winnings.
Yeah. Or, you know, a popcorn machine and a cotton candy machine. You can diversify.
Nice.
Diversify your assets. That's what you do with money, and I did that successfully.
Do you believe an 18-year-old with $5,000 would buy?
I waited 2 years.
Yeah, so he
I
was
20 years old.
Yeah, at that time, right? Because
Yeah.
he's making a shrewder
You
investment.
sat on this money for 2
Oh,
years
yeah.
and
Well, I
then
had to think hard about
spontaneously
it.
purchased a popcorn machine.
I don't see what
18-year-olds
doesn't
are-
line up about that.
No, 18-year-olds are great with saving money.
That's full of hot air.
So what happened to the machine, and do you still have it?
Yeah, I still have it.
Really?
Where do you house it?
My house
In Kelowna.
in Kelowna.
You moved the popcorn machine from Colorado to Kelowna.
Oh yeah.
What's the customs on that?
I don't even know. It was on a big truck with lots of other things.
I'm ready to roll.
I'm
ready to roll.
feeling.
No, I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
Just gonna.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. I know it's gonna be controversial, but I'm sticking with it. Yeah.
So what's the difference between scratch and win? I've never played it. Was one like at a fair and the other's from a store? I don't.
The lottery ticket is different than a scratch.
But you scratch the lottery tickets.
No,
You scratch them.
What? You have the numbers with the lottery ticket.
Yeah, you read it through a machine. You watch TV at 6:49. That was back in the day. I don't know.
Oh, so I'm finding out I was right the whole time because that's not true. You can scratch lottery tickets.
No, scratch tickets you take into the back alley, you scratch it out,
Yeah.
you drink a beer.
So is the
whole
alley the
production.
difference?
Yeah.
You would know these things had you ever played a scratch ticket.
Wow.
I'm gonna buy you
Follow on
one.
his
It's
head.
okay. I'm gonna buy you one.
Okay,
That
thank you.
seems fair. And if
Thank
you win
Well,
$5,000, I think we know what you need to spend half of it on.
You're obligated.
You're obligated.
Popcorn for everybody.
popcorn for
Okay.
everyone.
How would you transfer one of those popcorn machines everywhere? Like,
Okay.
Dedicated to his snacks.
I'm dedicated. Yes, I'm dedicated to my stacks, and I had a set of conga drums that I did ship around the country quite a bit as
Yeah.
I. So it's not.
You
And
should have
to be
told that
fair-
story.
That's been
be
good. I could have fictionally bought that with this, I suppose.
Popcorn is highly valued on Pluto. Like, it does make sense. Thinking about it now, that was fair.
That was fair. That was
Jordan
fair.
Simon, come on.
Thank you so much.
I think Jordan should get a gold star for fooling nobody.
I think so. That's the first
I
time.
would imagine including the audience.
Again, I'm doing great at this.
Kicking it. One more time.
All right. Stephane, why don't you give a go?
All right. All right. I have something here that's going to shock and surprise all of you. And it is as follows. I was valedictorian of my high school. Oh, not that shocking. Okay, all right. Very believable.
Wow. Did you get good grades in high school?
Clearly. Valedictorian.
You were. What was your strongest subject in school?
So, it varied from year to year, but final year of high school was calculus. Year before that, physics.
Does it?
Doesn't it?
I don't know how many more questions you could ask.
Know nothing about.
You gave a speech then at your grad?
Of course. I mean, valedictorian, not giving a speech.
What advice did you give your grads then?
Oh, it was wonderful. It was brilliant. They still, to this day, every once in a while when I go back for the reunions, people still actually reference this speech.
And where was it that you go back to, that you're from?
Thunder Bay, Ontario. Yeah, it was a wonderful speech. The theme was be a better civic-minded person by visiting all of the local businesses in your community.
And how could they not remember that great message?
First of all, you're going to think, wait a second, how is that inspiring at all? But if you think about it, what is a community other than a collection of local businesses? And if you visit them all, doesn't that bring us all closer together?
I'm moved.
I know. And the other thing I learned about being valedictorian is that if you say anything with conviction, everyone just thinks it's amazing. It doesn't matter.
It's like right here.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter.
It's so beautiful. I'm just tearing up. Me too.
The other thing is they don't review your speech before they vote
That's
you
a good move.
You're already valedictorian,
Right.
and then you give the speech, and then they whoa,
They have a lot of trust
we
in the
maybe have
valedictorians.
regretted our choices.
So do you then regret your speech now? Would you have
Wouldn't
spoken
change a word.
differently?
Wouldn't change a word.
You
It was from the heart.
From the heart.
It was a truth that I had.
At 18, that kind of conviction for local shopping.
I bought a lot of local goods. Yeah.
So at your reunions, what is the most quoted part of this speech?
Yes. It was my closing sentence, and I think I just nailed it, landed it, and it was, remember, be vocal, shop local. And I don't know, it brought it together. Standing ovation, yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah, standing.
Valedictorian, Stephane.
Team leader, everybody.
And now I'm here. It's just been a roller coaster.
I don't know, but were other people
Seriously?
going? Okay.
All fibs.
Yeah, well, you should talk to the people in my town. They will have no idea what I'm talking about because it was in fact a fib.
But how many valedictorians have done a small business themed speech? You could have been the first.
I will say this honestly, not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Why am I moving the desk? Oh, it's because I have to get the Book of Truths. Our next game. Move the flowers, grab the book, do the dust bit. Boom, dust, 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 dust. Dust, 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 dust. Okay, Book of Truths. How this will work is there's several truths in here. I will pick one and read it. It belongs to somebody sitting on this stage. They're each going to read it out. They're going to try on the statement for themselves. I'm going to get to ask 2 questions, each person, and I have to figure out whose truth this is. The truth is, I once bit someone in a debate. We'll begin with Anne.
I once bit someone in a debate.
Oh. I hope it's true. I hope Anne bit someone. What kind of debate?
It was when I was a kid, and I had a fight with my brother over toy.
What toy?
A little Elmo stuffy.
Okay. I'm buying it. I'm buying it so far. Who did you bite?
A kid in my class called Garth.
Garth.
Garth, he had it coming.
That's enough for me. I don't.
Enough said.
You're forfeiting number 2?
Yeah, because Garth seems biteable. Like it all, it all adds up.
Is.
I once bit someone in a debate.
What were you debating?
It was in school, and we were debating between who was the better author, Dr. Seuss or, can't remember the other one's name. It's probably The Engine That Could or something. I can't remember the name of that.
Okay, and what prompted the bite?
Well, they were simply wrong.
So you had to bite him.
I had to bite him.
I guess that's a third question. I'm out of questions. We'll pass this down. Right. Try on this truth.
I once bit someone in a debate.
The bite was enough for me.
Love that.
And what were you debating?
We were debating who had the stronger jaw.
And did you get also bit?
Yes. It was a co-exchange of bites, which was the entire debate.
Good.
That's really weird because actually, I once bit someone in a debate.
And what were you debating?
Forensic evidence and whether or not teeth marks are that easy to create. So we had to make some bite marks.
I think I'm gonna go with Karliana because her bite was so convincing. That's my guess.
Okay, fact or fib?
Was it a fact? Was it your fact, or is this a fib?
Bam!
I haven't gotten one right yet. All right, whose was it? Who's the biter?
Poor
You
Garth.
bit Garth.
Poor Garth.
I took his arm like a good old turkey thing and just, before I even realized what was going on, it all happened so fast. He did leave me alone after that, but I didn't feel good about winning on those terms.
Now we're going to be playing punchlines. All right. Traditionally, a joke has a setup and a punchline. You might be familiar with it. But our comedians today will only be getting the punchline and have to think of the setup. So, our first punchline is going to be, it would have helped to have known that yesterday.
So I'm allergic to pharmacy-bought waxing strips, and it would have been helpful to know that yesterday.
The next punchline is, where I'm from, that's called getting to second base. Whoa, you sat next to her on the bus? Where I'm from, that's called getting to second base.
Wait a minute, you accidentally grazed the lunch lady's butt? Where I'm from, that's called getting to second base.
I didn't want to forget, so I got this tattoo.
Phone, wallet, keys. I didn't want to forget, so that's why I got this tattoo.
Get tattoo. I didn't want to forget, so I got get tattoo.
Oh man, remember that time in grade 2 you wet your pants? I didn't want to forget, so I got this tattoo.
Remember when you wet your pants getting that tattoo of me wetting my pants? I didn't want to forget that, so I got this tattoo.
Nice. Great work, Rhonda.
Oh my God, I feel 10 years younger. Great work, Rhonda.
The next punchline is 14.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? 14!
How many times did I fail my driver's test? 14.
13? No. 14.
How many years did it take for my boyfriend to propose to me? 14.
In Hungary, how many course dinner we having? 14.
Body count.
I mean 12? 12? Am I right? No. 14. 11. I'm just gonna keep saying numbers if you don't cut me off.
10? It works. Yeah. That was punchlines.
We're going to be playing a few improv games for you today. The first one we've got is our scene onion. 2 improvisers are going to step out and start doing a scene. Then a 3rd improviser will step in, brand new scene. A 4th improviser, a 5th improviser, so on until we get to all 7 of us, and then we're going to peel that onion back. So when the 7th person steps out, the scene with 6 people do the same scenes all the way down. We do need a suggestion from the audience. Where did you go on your last vacation? Bermuda. Bermuda is your suggestion.
You want to help me dig this hole and we can get to the Bermuda Triangle?
Sure.
And
I've been here a month already. No triangles.
I know. It's got to be here somewhere, though.
So I said specifically, when we were out caroling today, we were gonna sing "Oh Silent Night."
Hey guys, are you gonna get me off this island, or are you gonna come and help me out over here?
Have you learned your lesson yet?
I've learned, I promise. I will never pepper spray you guys again.
What's this all about?
She started it.
Awesome. What planet you cheering for, doll?
Oh, Mars, all the
Me
way.
in for Mars all the way.
All right.
The frickin' news. Am I right?
Johnny,
so crazy
Johnny,
these
why don't you
days.
tell us what's happening on the news?
Oh my God, there's so much. You're not gonna believe this stuff.
Oh my God.
God, is that my mother?
Oh my God, it is.
Stuff is happening to your mother.
Stuff is happening to your mother. I gotta go tell her. I don't think she knows.
Oh, drinks here, and they may or may not be filled with poison.
Listen.
I'm caught in the middle here.
Okay, the truth is, I just kind of miss you guys, okay?
That's why you pepper sprayed us?
Oh, it was out of love this whole time.
You're all just so cool.
Here, oh, they're opening the door. Let's get the carol going.
Okay.
Oh, good, yes.
Oh my God. So many rectangles.
I know.
No triangles.
Steve, look! Freaking triangle!
You found one.
We've got just one more game for you today. Our comedians, our improvisers are going to tell a story as a team. So as long as I'm pointing to them, they're going to keep telling a story. And when I switch, their teammate is going to pick up from right where they left off. And as a team, they are telling us a story. Can we get a suggestion? Banker. We're going to tell the most exciting story about a banker.
Oh my God. So I was at the bank the other day and the funniest thing happened.
This one guy at the bank stall that I walked up to, and I said to him, listen here, buddy, I need my money.
But he was actually new, and he didn't understand
Anything I was doing with money and the sack, so I went up to the teller and I said, give me all your money, banker guy.
And he did. It was the weirdest thing.
He just starts tossing it,
It might have had something to do with the gun in my pocket. I don't know,
but he certainly reacted to it.
unintentional bank robbery happens sometimes, especially
on Sundays.
And also holidays.
It's one of the fastest growing trends in 2023 because everyone's carrying pistols now and going to the bank on Sundays.
And I would totally do it again if it wasn't for all those ink pads things that exploded all over my face and couldn't get off for a month and a half. So then I wouldn't ever do it again because I was covered and looked like a Smurf for 2 months.
That was amazing. That's the end of our round. Thank you so much for watching. I'd like to thank our comedians again, Stephane Magne, and Billingsley, Annie Zed, Erin Hazlehurst, Karliana DeWolff, and Jasmine Towers.